Hey, I'm standing here on the beautiful Island Mound Battlefield in Bates County, Missouri. And this is a small October 1862 action, but it's super significant just as any Civil War battle is. But this has got a little something extra to it. This is the first time that colored troops will fight in the American Civil War. Specifically, the 1st Kansas Colored Volunteer Infantry will be here and fight at Island Mound in 1862. Before the Emancipation Proclamation comes into effect in 1863, these guys are already in uniform and will be fighting. What ends up happening is there's a lot of rebel activity here in the county. Bushwhackers, recruiters, they're trying to get Missouri put into the Confederacy to succeed and go with the Confederacy instead of staying in the Union. And the Federals need to squash that. The 1st Kansas will come here to this area, to Bates County, and they will take over a house that is owned by Enoch and Christina Toothman. That house, they are Southern sympathizers. That house will be rechristened Fort Africa, as they will fortify the yard around it with fence posts and things. The rebels know they're here and know that they're going to be trying to get some supplies. In fact, the 1st Kansas will send out several foraging parties to gather much needed supplies. In the meantime, they will also send out a group of about 20 men to skirmish and distract the Confederates. The reason they want to do that is so that their foraging parties can go out, get what they need, and get back quickly. As those units return, the Confederates start moving this way. They will set fire to the prairies. Because of that, there's a lot of smoke and things like that. The 1st Kansas is going to have to backlight a fire in order to keep Fort Africa safe and keep from everything being consumed. Because of that, rebels are able to come up and start skirmishing with the picket posts that are out there. And they take out a couple guys, and then they're going to retreat in hopes that the 1st Kansas will chase after them. Instead, they're going to send out a party of about 8 men to go scout the area, try to figure out what's going on. Those guys will venture too far. They're supposed to stay within sight of the camp. They'll venture too far, and what ends up happening is more men have to go out to find them. Those men, rather than find them and return here to camp, will end up continuing and joining this force. The rebels will now be in a great position as these men have moved forward. They're out of sight of the camp, and they have now fallen into a rebel trap. Once they figure that out, they'll start retreating toward the ravine, and the rebels will be able to catch up to them. They'll charge into them. There will be intense fighting, hand-to-hand combat. As these black soldiers are vastly outnumbered at this point, with these mounted riders coming into them with shotguns, sabers, and pistols, and they're trying to hide in this ravine to keep from being killed. Another unit of African American soldiers will come in, and the fighting will continue across the prairies here. It'll be super intense. There's going to be a lot of bloodshed, wounded and things like that. There's not going to be many killed here, but because of the arrival of other Federal soldiers, the Confederates are going to have to retreat, and they will make a breakthrough of the Federal line, but it'll be blocked by some Federal soldiers that arrive on location, and the line will be sealed. And because of that, the Southerners are going to retreat over the top of Island Mound and then back to Hog Island, where they had started from in Bates County. The casualties in the 1st Kansas are only 8 killed and 11 wounded. And the Southerners, we don't know how many, but probably roughly the same. Union reinforcements will arrive, and the combined force will move on to Hog Island to discover that it's been vacated. But newspapers across the nation will report on the battle. Accounts about the black soldiers' bravery will help to ease doubts about how former enslaved men might perform in battle.